what is even going on with Stranger Things season 4 at this point? Nobody knows. It's a
I mean,
mystery.
I for sure don't have no clue. So,
So, as many of
um,
you know,
as all
fans of the
30
show,
of you,
as all 31 of you
31?
know, yeah, we're at
Yo,
31. Yeah!
okay.
For those of you who are Stranger Things fans, we are in sort of like I said this off camera. We're in sort of like a drought of content. So the last like official like footage that we got was on Valentine's Day of last year, and the other thing that we got was like
That's a long time ago.
a video of like the cast doing the table read on like March 3rd or something. And that's
Yeah.
that's coming up on a year also. So like
Hmm.
it's been a while, and like it's weird because Netflix and just like Stranger Things like social media accounts, like they're not doing anything. We're very much in the dark about what's happening in every shape or form. So we're here to piece together the plot and say yes, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And maybe we'll just make it ourselves
Yeah,
if
we'll
it
get
takes
those
too long.
I have a pretty big collection of those Funko Pops. That's the cast right there.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
last time we did a video on Stranger Things, it was our Stranger Things uh, just theory video and like set pictures,
Theory.
which was in the same recording. So like one thing I want to point out, uh, we uploaded first look at Stranger Things 4 set photos, reaction, and then three videos later on the fourth video we uploaded Stranger Things 4 theories and speculation, which in that video I said, oh, I'm a mass murderer, right? Okay, my theory. Freaking mass murder. A murderer. A murderer is on the loose in Hawkins. That was on. That was for if you okay.
um
If you go on the Stranger Things season 4 set pictures thing, that is on October 28th. That was uploaded then. We recorded that video on October 27th. I edited it overnight. Those two videos, those two Stranger Things season 4 videos were in the same recording. And I just want to point out, I predicted because okay, on November 20th, Stranger Things on their social medias, they revealed a bunch of new characters, including Robert Englund. I'm probably Englund. I don't know. I'm butchering that name. AKA Victor Creel, is a disturbed and intimidating man who is imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital for a gruesome murder in the
hmm,
1950s. What else do I have to say? I
boom.
predicted it. How did I predict
We
it?
were right, guys.
In that time since that last Stranger Things video, all that's been revealed is those character descriptions. So you have Victor Creel, the murderer, in a psychiatric hospital, which I'm like 99% sure that's going to be that place Penthurst that they referenced in season 1 only once. If I'm right about that, then hooray. There's also um, Eduardo Franco, aka Argyle, Jonathan's new BFF. We finally get to see Jonathan's friends.
My best friend.
Um, we stand up. Jonathan, wow, what's season
Whoa.
4 been like, bro?
Yo, they should have cast me for
Fun thing about Jonathan's new friend in the show, he's a fun-loving stoner who proudly delivers delicious pizza pies for Surfer Boy Pizza. Um,
Okay.
we got
Pretty
Jamie
cool.
Campbell Bower, aka Peter Ballard, a caring man who works as an orderly at a psychiatric hospital. Connections to the murderer. Tired of the
Hmm.
brutality he witnesses day after day, will Peter finally take a stand? We have
I
Sherman,
doubt it.
nope. We have Sherman Augustus, aka Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, an intelligent, no nonsense man who believes he knows how to stop the evil in Hawkins once and for all.
Hmm.
We have Mason Dye, what a name,
Hmm.
aka Jason Carver, a
Sorry,
handsome,
Mason.
rich athlete who is dating the most popular girl in school. But as a new evil threatens Hawkins, his perfect world begins to unravel. Now, he is part of my new theory that I'm going to explain later. We
Okay.
have Tom, what name I do not know how to pronounce, aka Dmitri, a smart and charming Russian prison guard, but can he be trusted? Hmm. We have another name I can't pronounce as Yuri, a seedy and unpredictable Russian smuggler who loves bad jokes, cold hard cash, and crunchy style peanut butter.
Ah,
What a description.
so
And
so
we
the
had
Russians like crunchy peanut butter.
You're writing this down.
Good to know. Good to know.
And the last character that was revealed, we have Joseph Quinn, aka Eddie Munson. He's the head of the Hawkins High official D&D club, the Hellfire Club. So
Mm.
those are all the characters that were revealed in the time that um friggin' we made the last video. And I guess I've thought about where these characters could be placed in terms of story, and I think I have a pretty good theory. I don't know about you. I think I have a pretty solid theory. So before I get into my little theory things, I have to say I am a little bit worried about season 4 because like my main fear is that they completely just jump the shark and it's just like it goes too far in a way that doesn't work for them. You know, I'm like afraid that like they're like if they have a bad season, then like they're just gonna it's they're gonna lose it. Like I don't understand
Yeah.
what's happening in the show so far because like think about this. This show has to end. Like you know
When's
we
it gonna end?
like we go into each season thinking, oh, there's probably going to be another season after this. They're not ending it right here. But like, okay,
Yeah.
each season, it's kind of getting to the point where like each season is like when you go to the next one, you're like, well, is what happened in the last season even important anymore? Like, remember Billy? Like, is he gonna be like, is he important anymore? No, he's
Is he gonna have a
dead.
funeral?
Each season like has things that are important for the sake of that season, but like there has to be a central antagonist.
But like, what's the big
Yeah,
picture?
what's the bit? Who's the actual antagonist of this series? Like, is that what they're even going for? That's my main concern about the show at this point. Like, there's like, are they even trying to go for like a main villain? Like, is there a villain in the show outside of like the per season type thing? Because like thinking back to how the ways that they could have gone, I feel like they've said since the beginning that they have a plan, which like I don't doubt, but at the same time, it's like with the way that they're going, they
Okay.
seem like they're putting their characters in a lot of directions where they don't know where to go with them.
Yes.
And but yeah, what were we gonna say?
Um, I may or may not have a theory,
Okay, we need to hear
but
this.
no, it can wait.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this main point by my fear for season 4 up. I'm concerned that they don't actually have a I mean that they don't have a good
They don't
plan.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, like I was saying, they're putting their characters in so many directions where I feel like they're just like, oh, I guess we'll do this with that one
I
because
guess we'll
like
put them halfway across the country, so
so they can just have
yeah,
random
that's it.
antics like what? I don't
We'll
I feel
put
like
Hopper on the other side of the world.
what is he gonna do in Russia? Huh? Learn Russian? My main fear for season 4 is that I feel like they don't know what they're doing. And I was gonna bring up a specific example with Steve for yeah, like okay. I have a feeling like they really did not like from the beginning they did not know what they were going to do with Steve looking back like cuz they originally said that Steve was supposed to die in season 1. So like I imagine they kept him alive and
Wait,
then
he was?
yeah, he was originally gonna.
Died to the
I
Demogorgon?
think that's how it was supposed to go. I can't
Dang, they
remember
were
how.
ruthless.
They were originally gonna kill 11 in season 1 as well, but like, but
What
like,
would where would the show go from there?
okay, that's what I'm saying. Like they would die multiple times without 11 in the show. So after season 1, I feel like they didn't really know what to do with Steve. So then they had Dustin and Steve. They're like, okay, this is where he'll go. He'll like He'll team up with Dustin. That'll be the whole like group. And then they didn't know where to go from there. So they were like, okay, he's with Dustin now, but we're gonna have him work at Scoops Ahoy. Like, I don't understand where they're like. What is Steve's character arc past season one? I'll wait.
I mean that. Yep. I
Yep,
mean that's
seems
the
about
best
accurate.
answer I can give.
Like, okay, in season two, he did like let Nancy move on, so I guess that's sort of a character arc. And like, but in season three,
Yeah. I
mainly, I
mean,
don't
he
know.
was annoying in season one,
Yeah, yeah, like he
and
had the
at
most
that
character
point, I probably
development.
wouldn't have cared if he died.
Yeah,
But now,
like this
they
is.
can't kill him now.
I feel like that's why they're gonna kill Steve though, because they don't know what they're doing with him. So they're like, oh, let's just have Steve die.
And honestly, they kind of did us dirty with Billy because he totally could have turned around just like Steve.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
you know,
I guess I'm ready to jump into my theory, or should you, or do you want to go with your theory first?
I can tell
A
you the
new and
general
improved.
idea. So
Yes.
maybe not next season because we don't really know when they're
Hmm.
gonna end it. But
Oh wait, actually, speaking of that, I think they said that they're gonna end it around at like five.
five,
So like, yeah, so yeah, I feel like this season will probably end on a cliffhanger if five's the
so
end.
the final goal. Imagine this. Imagine this.
Yes.
Eventually, it's going to get to the government.
Okay. Yeah.
They're
Well,
gonna
wasn't the
kill
Hawkins
all
lab?
the Demogorgons.
Okay, I thought you were about to say they're gonna kill all the kids or like all the main characters. I was like ready for that. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah. But isn't the Hawkins
That
lab the government, or was that just like for the
um
town?
maybe it is. Maybe the government already knows.
Okay,
But
they kill all the Demogorgons.
they kill all the Demogorgons,
Hmm.
completely renovate the Upside Down, industrialize it,
Yo,
and solve global warming.
I buy it. That's season four.
Right? Right?
That's a 2 season plan. That's how they
Yeah.
end it. All is
They gotta
well at
take it
the end of
slow.
season five. That's it. That's the show.
It's a crazy show, but it ends well.
Yeah, you know how like at the end of each season it has like the logo. It's like something happens and it's like Stranger Things 2 or Stranger Things 3, and then like it has the credits. Like imagine it's just like all right, we solved global warming, and then it's like it's like Stranger Things 5. Here's my plot for season 4. All right, so we have Victor Creel, the murderer, and I have a feeling. Okay, like I said in my past one, in the time that we recorded that, I have like slowly accepted the whole like mass murder thing as like reality. so, so like I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, that's totally what's happening in season 4, even though like I don't know. I just like I'm like
We know. We know.
we know Netflix.
We know.
There's no point in hiding
Netflix.
it. We already know. So with these new characters, however, so we have Peter Ballard. It says, you know, that he works at a psychiatric hospital. Victor Creel, who put in the psychiatric hospital for a murder in the 50s. So we have him in the psychiatric hospital, and Peter Ballard also in the psychiatric hospital. And it says, tired of the brutality he witnesses day after day, will he finally take a stand? All right. My theory is that early on in the season, possibly the opening scene. I'm not calling this because I feel like the opening scene could be anything from like it will. Honestly, the opening scene could even be like Hopper in Russia, that like small teaser that we got last year. It could probably even be that.
What if for all of season 4, they just completely don't mention Hopper at all, and it's just a season 5 thing?
Peter Ballard, tired of the brutality, will he take a stand? So I'm thinking, like I was saying, possibly first opening scene of season 4. Let's say he takes a stand in the psychiatric hospital. He lets some patients out. He lets out Victor Creel. I can totally see Victor Creel like turning on him. He's like, "Oh, I'll let you out." Then he just murders him because why not? Like he backstabs him and he just kills him.
I wouldn't doubt that happening.
Peter Ballard lets out Victor Creel for some stupid reason. He's probably like underappreciated at his job. I can totally see like him doing stuff and everybody's like, come
Yeah.
on, like you suck. And like uh he lets out Victor Creel. Victor Creel murders him in a backstabbing way. Either that or he
Dang.
keeps him alive. And like, he's just, and then Peter's just there. But like, so he lets out Victor Creel, and then I can totally see that happening. Like, because like the guy who plays Victor Creel, it played Freddy Krueger in a Nightmare and in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So like
Mm.
I feel like they're gonna be on the nose about like the different guy murdering people. Like I said in the last video, I honestly believe that Victor Creel is gonna be going around murdering people in Hawkins, and everybody blames it on the high school D&D club, the Hellfire Club, because in the 80s there was that whole satanic panic around like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So here's what I'm saying is gonna happen. So I believe that in order to clear the Hellfire Club's name, let's say Dustin, Max, Steve, and Robin, just because Steve's like Dustin's ride. They try to just go around trying to like with Nancy probably try to track down this murderer guy. I don't know what their plan would be, but the murderer is murdering people, and they try to find out if it's truly a murderer. That's the plot. That's their story. So also, there's the character that I was saying I don't care about, Jason Carver. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna one of these characters. Okay, they're gonna have a character in season 4 that's a new character that's there just to die. That I'm calling that right now. They're gonna have a character that is there, and then they're just gonna die. Like I imagine if it's like a cheerleader or something. It's like, oh, that's the most popular. Oh, okay. I'm fusing this together. Imagine there's a cheerleader. She's like a really popular girl at the high school. She's dating freaking Jason Carver because it says he's dating the most popular girl in school. So, okay, so I can imagine popular girl. She's dating this guy Jason, and maybe she's like hanging around some people like Mike and like Dustin or maybe even Eddie, that one kid, that leader of the Hellfire Club, as it says, and then she just freaking gets murdered by the mass murderer by Victor Creel, and then that causes conflict within the school where they're like, oh my gosh, they're like freaking Satan
Dead,
murderer
bro.
cult people. She dead. They killed her. Like, cause like she's probably. This is so stupid, but at the same time,
No,
I can
keep going,
totally
keep
see this
going, keep
happening.
going, keep
Okay.
going.
So, okay, imagine like, freaking okay. I can imagine that the Jason, his girlfriend gets killed. He blames it on the Hellfire Club because maybe she was seen hanging around near this Eddie kid. I can't imagine they would do that with Dustin or any of the main kids because like I don't know. I feel like they just save that for the new characters where they have room to just start a new character with problems, whereas
Yeah.
like they probably wouldn't just have Dustin just be freaked up this season.
Yeah.
So she's hanging around Eddie. She's like, let's say uh there has to be something incriminating. Like what if like she's wandering around. I was about to say like a freaking drug deal because I was like that was also a big deal in the 80s in high schools and small towns and stuff like that. Okay, imagine Eddie is like a druggie. Okay, I'm gonna make this more coherent. Jason is dating popular cheerleader. The cheerleader is seen hanging around
and
Eddie. What if maybe something with drugs is involved? He gives her some whack drugs. She gets murdered. And then they're like, oh my gosh, he gave her some whack drugs. They're like, the Hellfire Club is like evil. That causes conflict within the main party because they have no idea what's going on. And like, and it turns out Eddie has some tragic backstory. He's like, I wasn't always like this, or like, I'm a really nice guy. Because, that's the Stranger Things way. If they
yeah.
have a traumatic past, just give them a flashback and they're suddenly redeemable no matter what
Yeah.
they've done. So,
Backstory,
like, that's
backstory,
what's going to
backstory.
happen. Okay.
Okay,
What
I'm
I
calling
just
it
said,
now.
how coherent is that? I mean, how plausible is that?
Definitely plausible.
Just the fact that they have introduced a stoner character in Argyle Jonathan's best friend apparently. It just
All my
makes
best friends
just
are so.
it just opens up just the fact that they've already described him as a stoner just already sets up the possibility like okay maybe in this season they're gonna dab into a little bit of like
They're
drug
gonna
use or
dab.
something. Stranger Things season 4 will feature the dab. Okay, yeah. So this the fact that they've already described one of the new characters as a stoner makes me think that like okay maybe they're actually gonna go into like drugs for some reason
Yeah.
because like you know I it's like something. I mean,
Or
the
maybe
only
that's just the best character trait they could come up with for
that's his
Argyle.
only. Yeah, but,
Sorry,
yeah, he's
dude.
just a stoner.
You're just a stoner, man.
The fact that even though like we were saying that could just be Argyle's only like distinctive character trait.
Yeah.
Um,
He just
maybe
really,
they
really,
will.
really loves pizza and weed.
So like maybe they're gonna just tap into like 80s drug use for some reason. So
Yeah.
maybe Eddie
Plot
for some
devices.
reason is a druggie. He gives the cheerleader, he gives her some like weed or something. Pop. Yeah, I feel like that's the most tame thing that they're gonna do. They probably won't just do straight up like hard drugs,
Yeah.
But he gives her weed or something. He gives her some kind of drug. Friggin' Jason is aware that they were hanging out together. She gets killed by Victor Creel. They think it's Eddie / the Hellfire Club, and maybe the school shuts down the club. Like you can't hang out here. Then they have to maybe they have to shift to their meetings because they have Hellfire Club meetings. Maybe they have to shift their meetings from the school to some location. Oh, okay.
The upside down.
Yeah, no. I can totally imagine that they switch their location to some wood air, to the woods, like Mirkwood or something like that they've already set up. Maybe they do that, and then Dustin and Lucas and Matt. I don't think Max would be there. Like Dustin and Lucas are there, and they see that there's a portal to the upside down in the woods or something like that, and they're like,
It's
"Oh my gosh, the
again.
upside down's back!" Oh, blah, blah, blah. And
how did they open it this time?
Also in this character description for Jason, it says, but as a new evil threatens Hawkins, his perfect world begins to unravel. So that could totally mean
the upside down, the right side,
side up. That being Victor Creel murders his girlfriend. His perfect world begins to unravel. I feel like I'm piecing together season 4 over here.
Okay, I can already see it.
Okay, I'm gonna actually die laughing if none of this happens.
I'm gonna die laughing if any of this happens. Honestly, I'm gonna die laughing either way.
Yeah. So that's my idea for the main group's adventure in season 4. The whole murder thing. There's a threat going around Hawkins. Basically, they have to be careful. I have no idea how it's gonna connect with the other characters. But that's just what I have so far. Murderer breaks out of Penthurst, murdering teenagers. People think it's the Hellfire Club for more reasons than one. They somehow find out that the Upside Down is back, or that it wasn't closed off. And that's as far as I am for that side of the story.
I feel like also another thing is last season they totally split up the whole gang.
Yeah.
And on one hand I hope that doesn't happen this season.
But I feel like that's just
there's no
happen.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
So that's as far as as much as I have with their side of the story. So that just leaves the buyers in wherever. And also I'm calling that they're moving to California, and the only reason why I say that is because Argyle works for Surfer Boy Pizza. Surfer Boy Pizza.
Yeah.
It's just
you're not gonna have a Surfer Boy Pizza in a landlocked state.
Yeah, that it has to be California just because of that. So I mean, it could be something totally different, but I'm just calling that it's California. California or Florida. I feel like California. It would probably just be California, but California. I'm just settling with California right now. So,
California.
okay, so another thing that I'm worried about with season 4 is that the buyers, aside from Joyce, because we already know that she's gonna go to save Hopper, but like I'm afraid that like Eleven
We
and
all know
Will
that.
and Jonathan are gonna have like the more boring side of the story, you know? Like that's what I'm afraid of because I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be a lot of sulking from them because they're they were the ones who were most affected by Hopper's death. Also, what I could see happening is Mike visits Eleven and Will, and he's like, he's bringing them up to date on his situation in Hawkins. They're bringing him up to date on their situation and where they are. And then like
Yeah.
while that's happening, things in Hawkins are getting like insane, and Mike has no idea. And maybe Mike gets like from like Dustin's radio tower, if they still have that in season 3, he
Yeah.
gets like a code red. He's like, oh my gosh, this is happening. They have maybe like Jonathan and Argyle will like rush them back to Hawkins or something like that. Like I can totally see that
Just
happening.
speeding in the pizza
And the
delivery
that
truck.
would actually be such a hype. Remember that scene in Toy Story 2? Whenever they take the Pizza Planet truck, they're totally gonna have that line. Pizza, anyone? They just speed in this. That's so stupid.
How are we gonna get him now? Pizza, anyone?
Okay. Also, my favorite line in Toy Story 2 is whenever this is off topic, but who cares? Whenever they're in the Pizza Planet truck and Ham is looking at like the driver's manual or whatever for the car, and they're like speeding, and he just goes like, "Oh, he's definitely not getting that kind of mileage."
Oh, I seriously doubt he's getting this kind of mileage.
Yo, what if Steve tries to get back with Nancy?
No.
He's like, hey, now that Jonathan's gone,
like,
we can totally
so,
get back together.
Yeah. Long distance not doing too good, huh?
I can totally picture Steve doing that, though. I honestly feel like just the fact that we're getting a season 5 makes me think that this season is going to end in like a Deathly Hallows Part 1 kind of way, where it's like, oh my gosh, it's not resolved, and that's why I feel like it can't like. That's why I feel like they're not going to get Hopper back in season 4.
Yeah.
And why, like, it's like that's what confuses me so much about it. I'm not sure if like the season 5 rumor is completely true. I just remember hearing everywhere like, oh, season 4 isn't the end, we're going for 5. But
yeah,
that's what makes
they totally
me think
could have ended it at
3 and 2.
3 and 2, yeah.
Those are my theories for Stranger Things. And the last thing I want to talk about is deaths. Who do you think realistically is going to die? Running through the roster of like people who could die, I say, okay, I'm calling this right now. I feel like 11 will die by the end of the series. I can just see that happening, where she gets her powers back, she learns some new skill, and she's like fighting off a monster, like closing the gate for good this time, and then she dies.
The more I think about it, the more it kind of makes sense.
I can totally see like a character arc where she's like slowly but surely getting back her powers, and then she has like a big sacrifice scene that's like similar to I can see like a full circle moment where it's like similar to how it was in season 1, where she's like, oh, goodbye. Yeah, I could totally see them coming back to that, where they're like, oh, goodbye, Mike, and then she like does the big thing
dies.
and she like actually dies this time. She probably will like levitate like she did in season 2, and then she dies. So like I feel like it's pretty safe to say
she just levitates.
If Hopper didn't die, 11's gonna die. Think about that.
Okay, listen. Your theory, everyone dies. My theory, everyone lives. Either way, one of us is gonna be right about some of
you're
the
like,
characters.
I was right. Characters that I feel are safe are Will, because they're not gonna kill Will. They already had like the 2 seasons of him.
Yeah, I say the original Mike, Dustin, Will,
and Lucas.
And
but I feel like it's like, okay, would they take that risk and kill one of those main kids? Like, do you think they do that?
I doubt it.
Other than 11, like it's like that's what I'm thinking.
11's the only like
The one that I feel like
odd,
could
not
die while also sacrificing herself to save everybody. So
Yeah.
like they could give her like a big
save
heroic
the
thing.
world.
Steve, I feel like has a chance of dying just because he's a fan favorite, and they'd kill him just to make people mad. So like Steve has a chance of dying. Keith lives. I'm saying that right now. Keith lives.
What if there's just this big dramatic scene where Hopper just dies in their arms and they're like, no.
Oh yeah, and their effort was wasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I can see that
could
happening.
see that happening.
Because yeah, once they bring back Hopper, what is there to do?
right?
Yeah, like what do
they
they
got him
do in
back.
the show when they get him back? I can actually see that happening. Yeah,
End the show.
that's the show. Everybody, Steve dies.
Steve dies.
I'm not even surprised what happened to your brother. I'm sorry I have to be the one to tell you, but the Byers, their family is a disgrace to the entire.
Well, anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say about season 4.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have.
That's
Okay, to sum it up, main theory: murderer
That's about
escapes from psychiatric hospital, kills teenagers. People think it's a Hellfire Club. Rescue Hopper. Season ends in a big what the heck cliffhanger ending, setting up season 5, leaving things mostly unresolved. And season 5 picks up right where season 4 left off and resolves everything. And that's it. And the main reason I wanted to make this video was just in case they drop a trailer or new information like next week. Because
and we're just like,
we were
right the whole time.
In the trailer, Dustin dies in the trailer.
Son of a bitch.
That's actually going to be
Yeah,
such a fun
and
video
hey-
though, whenever season 4 comes out and we look back at our theories and we're like, okay, this was way
Yeah,
off.
We're like, hey, we were way
gosh.
off, but hey,
This one thing was right.
this one singular minor detail was right.
Okay. Oh, major prediction about Will in season 4. He gets a new haircut. That's what. That's what. He ditches the bowl cut and he gets a new haircut.
If we're right, we'll be right.
Hire us. Well, guys, I don't know what to do for an outro. That's it. Bye.
Yeah. Peace.